Good morning. This is Miss Billerback, and we're going to talk about averaging or finding the mean. Let's say we went to the carnival and they had two rides, and one ride cost $2 and one ride cost $3. What is the average cost of these carnival rides? Well, we can take the $2 plus the $3. And since there's two rides and $2 costs here, we're going to divide by 2. So we add what we're averaging and we divide by the number of numbers. So this ends up being $5 divided by 2. So we can do the top dog in the house to figure out, well, what exactly is that? So 5 and 2. And we know that there's two 2's and 5. So we have 4 here. We subtract because this is 2 times 2. And we get 1. And we still need to keep going. So we're going to add a decimal right here. We need this column. So we're going to add a 0 in there and drop this down to a 10. And we know there's 5 2's and 10. So 5 times 2 or 2 times 5 is 10. So we subtract and we get 0. So we can say, there are 2.5. Wait a second, we don't write money as 2.5. We write them in cents. So we had to add a 0 here because it's $2.50, not $2.5. Okay, so we have to answer in the way that we deal with currency when we're doing an average. So the average cost of these two rides at $2 and $3 is $2.50. Now, if I was going on a hike in the Sierras, sometimes I run into these large rodents called marmots. They're awfully cute and they're very harmless. But they look like rodent-sized cats, and they just look at you and scamper away. So if we have 3 marmots, and they weigh 6.2 and 6.8 and 7.3 pounds, what is their average weight? So we would write 6.2 plus 6.8 plus 7.3. And since there's 3 different weights we're adding together, we're going to divide by 3. But we can say, wait a second, that's a little hard to add decimals that way. So what we could do is we could write 6.2, 6.8, and 7.3 and line the decimals up and add them that way. So we have 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 3 is 13. And 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 7 is 20. So the decimal goes here because it's lined up, and then we have the 20. So we see that, this is 20.3 divided by 3. Now we have to figure out what that is. So we put the 20.3 in the house. This top dog gets the house, and the 3's on the outside. We put the decimal right here. So there are no 3's and 2, so there are 3's and 20. There happens to be 6. So if we have 6 times 3, that's 18. We subtract, and that gives us, if we carry 1 here and bring it and borrow it to there, we have 2. And then we need to open this column up, so we drop a 3 down. We know that there are 7 3's in 23. So this is 21. When we subtract, we get a 2. And since we don't have a 0 for a remainder, we drop another 1 down. So we have 20. And we know, there are 6 of those. So we end up getting 6 times 3 again, which is 18. Subtract, we get 2. And if we keep going and dropping zeros down, we are going to start repeating because that's the same as that. So we're in a repeating decimal situation. Okay, so it's just going to be 6666666. Okay, so we could write this as 6.76 bar, but because we're only talking about weights that have been measured in accuracy to the 10th, our answer should be in the tenths. So we look at this number and we say 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, raise the score. And we decide that is 5 or more. So we raise the score of 7 to 6.8, and we're dealing with pounds. So these three marmots, their average weight is 6.8 pounds. Now that happens to be the middle number here, and it makes a lot of sense because we have 0.6 difference here and 0.5 difference there. So that's about the middle number. So if we're rounding to an accuracy of a tenth, that is the average pounds or average weight of a marmot that we might happen upon on a beautiful hike in the Sierras. All right, so if we see a mating pair of great horned owls and we happen to know one weighs 3 and one weighs 3.4 pounds, we might ask ourselves, I wonder what their average weight is. So we would take 3.4 plus 3.0, and since there's only two weights, we're going to divide by 2. So this becomes 6.4 over 2. We didn't see that. We could line up the decimals like this and add them up. So we have 4, the decimal, and 6. So 6.4 divided by 2. Now I have to figure out, well, what is that? I could do it in my head, or I could do it like this. So I'm going to put the top dog in the house and put the divisor out here. So the dividend gets the house and the divisor's outside. So there are 3 2s and 6. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that zeroes out. We drop the 4 down. The decimal goes right here. And we know that there are 2 2s in 4. So we subtract and we have 0. So we found that the average weight of the great horned owls is 3.2 pounds. And I am very fortunate to have a mating pair behind my house. And they have a beautiful song when the dusk hits and in the morning. The other thing I have at my house is a lot of turkeys. Okay, so 9 turkeys crossed the road on Monday. 50 turkeys crossed the road on Tuesday and were totally oblivious to cars and decided that they would hang out and not care that they were blocking the road. Then on Wednesday, 4 crossed the road and 23 crossed the road on Thursday. So what is the average amount of turkeys that crosses the road? So if we assume that the 50 turkeys that just hung out and blocked the road really were crossing the road, just taking a great deal of time doing so, we will include them in this average. So 9 plus 50 plus 4 plus 23 turkeys on the 4 days. So we have 4 numbers, so we're going to divide by 4. So when we add that up, we have 9 plus 5 is 59. 59 plus 4 is 63. 63 plus 23 is 86. Divided by 4. Now if we wanted to check our numbers, we could add this way. So 4 plus 23 is 27, plus 50 is 77, plus 9 is 86. All right, so that's one way to check your work. Now, if we have 86 divided by 4, we have 2 here, which is 8. We subtract, we get 0, we drop the 6 down. We only have 1 4 in that. We drop that down, we get a 2, and we have to put a decimal here. We drop the 0 down. So this is a 20 down here, and then we see, oh, okay, so there's 5. So there's 21.5 turkeys. I don't think the turkeys would like being averaged to 21.5. What do you think? Do you think half a turkey would be very happy? I don't think so. So when we're dealing with real things like turkeys, we can't take parts of turkeys in an average. So we do have to round. So this is what we're going to round to, the nearest whole number, because we can't chop a turkey up if we want a living turkey, okay? So, all right, so it's 5 or more, raise the score. Since that's 5, this gets raised, so it's approximately, and we can write these little approximately signs. Approximately 22 turkeys cross the road a day. So hopefully they're in a better mood and don't block the road next time. All right, on that note, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.